First group, okay? I'm going to say 3, 2, 1, pose. You're going to hold your pose while I read your section. Ready? Okay. 3, 2, 1, pose. The gray-eyed morn smiles on the frowning night, checkering the eastern clouds with streaks of light. And fleckled darkness like a drunkard reels from fourth day's path and Titan's fiery wheels. Okay, relax. Group 2, ready, set, freeze. Now ere the sun advances burning eye, the day to cheer and night's dank dew to dry. I must upfill this osier cage of ours with baleful weeds and precious juiced flowers. Hold your pose. Good, relax. Third group. Ready and freeze. The earth that nature's mother is her tomb. What is her bearing grave? That is her womb. And from her womb children of diverse kind we sucking at her natural bosom find. Many for many virtues excellent, none but for some, and yet all different. Okay, relax. Next group. Ready and freeze. O mickle is the powerful grace that lies in plants, herbs, stones, and their true qualities. For naught so vile that on the earth doth live, but to the earth some special good doth give. For naught so good but, strained from that fair use, revolts from true birth, stumbling on abuse. Hold your pose. Okay, relax. Last group, ready and freeze. Virtue itself turns vice being misapplied, and vice sometime by action dignified. Relax. Okay. Bravo, you guys could return to your seats.
Ours is amazing.
Okay. First group. Okay. Alex, what are you guys trying to do there?
We are trying to demonstrate the difference between night and dawn, and like it's happy from like with the sun,
Okay.
and then as sun goes down, it's sad.
Okay. Where do you see that taking place in those lines?
From fourth day pass and Titan fury wheels, that's like sun, and then frowning night.
Okay. Second group, how would you sum up the second group? How would you sum up what was happening in your lines?
We had Evie putting like the flowers in the cage, and we showed like the difference between day and night. We had Paige holding the light, showing like day, and then him sleeping, showing like night.
Okay. Third group, that was the Carson Ties group?
I go for 4.
Okay, 4. Who was 3?
It was me, Christmas.
Yeah, okay. What were you guys aiming for there?
We were kind of aiming for like the circle of life because Adriana was supposed to be like dead on the floor.
Yeah.
And we were supposed to represent like trees growing, and then we made a circle to represent like the circle.
I particularly liked how everyone was connected. And I think that was the only example, not that the others needed to do this, but you notice how everyone was physically connected in that group. That was really neat. The fourth group, that was you guys? What were you aiming for there?
Well, they were representing the ending part where it was like talking about like the abuse or whatever. So Carson was fighting Ty,
Mm-hmm.
and then I was just a plant like the herbs, and Emily was like picking one of the like the papers we were upsetting like
Yeah.
fruits and stuff.
Okay.
To show their qualities and how they can be used for things
Mhm.
and how they're used.
And then the last group, that was Gavin's group. What were you guys aiming for there?
So I was the bad person, and Izzy was the good person, and Bella was trying to decide which one to do, because it says in the thing that good turns to bad when misapplied, and bad is good, sometimes with good reason. So like
So we're like showing the contrast between good and bad.
So you guys were a little bit stuck with those lines because of your unfamiliarity with the word virtue and vice. What did you discover when you looked up virtue?
Kind of like good behavior and like morality, and like vice was like basically the opposite of like bad behavior.
Okay. And then when you guys looked up vice, what other words did you see there besides like immorality or bad? Remember some words you saw?
Those were the two that came up.
Do others know the word vice? How would you define vice?
Well, I mean, there's a few. There's vice, like, as in, like, someone's weakness, like, a vice is, like, their bad qualities, and there's, like, a vice that's, like, a tool that you, like, grip things in.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this idea of a weakness, a moral flaw in your character is what he's driving at here, okay? Everyone take a look at the next line. Oh, there's a break in the text. And vice, sometime by action dignified. What happens next? Enter Romeo. Is there might there be some reason why Romeo enters here, as opposed to at the end of his monologue? And one way to maybe speculate on this is take a minute and read the next part of this monologue, line 23 to 31, starting with within the infant rind. Read down to line 31, death eats up that plant. Take a minute by yourself first, read that section, and see, is there a change in the monologue? Something that's different here than what came before? Is there a shift that's taking place, signaled by Romeo's entrance? Okay? Take a couple minutes, go. Okay, grab a friend sitting next to you and compare your answers to that question. Is there a change that's taking place? Go for it.
It goes from that.
2 minutes?
So it goes from, like, good, like, excellent.